This is quite funny. This is proper funny. You can tell your family about this one if you don't know. This is quite famous, especially those in England know this because it's all over the news. But some of my crew, especially people, there was someone in India watching 2 weeks ago. I think you're there again. Awesome. My friends in India, and I've got friends all around the world. So some of you all around the world, you might not know the story about our Queen Elizabeth. And there was a story about Queen Elizabeth that came out a few weeks ago, but it happened a few years ago. And this is the story. And you can check it out. This Rabbi Hill would not dream of making up stories. Every story you hear from me, if I say it's true, it's true. And this one was said by her bodyguard, Sir Richard Griffith. And Sir Richard Griffith used to be the bodyguard for the Queen for many, many, many years. They used to look after her. And they used to have long walks around Balmoral in Scotland, long hikes they would have together. And a few years back, they're hiking and they chanced upon 2 American tourists. And these 2 American tourists, knew Balmoral and like the Queen lives near, but they'd never seen the Queen, didn't know about the Queen. And they come to the Queen and the bodyguards and they start talking, are we near where the Queen lives? So the Queen is like, we've got a live one here. Let's have a bit of fun. So the Queen, our Queen Elizabeth, said to them, yeah, I think that the Queen lives quite near here, actually. Yeah, quite near. He said, wow, do you come here often? She says, yeah, I like this place. I've been coming here for years. I come here, very, very frequently I come here. So then they said to her, can I ask you a question? She said, ask anything. And the 2 American tourists said, have you ever met the Queen? So the Queen replied, really haven't. I've never met. But you'll be amazed to hear he has. He meets the Queen quite frequently. You can ask him about the Queen. And they got so excited. These 2 very excited now American tourists ran to the bodyguard. You met the Queen. What's she like? Tell me, what's she like? What's she like? And he's like, oof. And him and the Queen had some good banter. He knew what the Queen could handle. And he was saying, I have to tell you, she's quite an argumentative lady, to be fair, quite cantankerous, quite argumentative. And they said, really? But she's nice. She is nice. And then he starts to say nice things. And then the funniest thing, the 2 American tourists said, we had an idea. And they gave the Queen their phone. And they said, can you take a photo of us and the man that's met the Queen, please? True story. Can you imagine? And the poor Queen is now taking the photo of the bodyguard and the American tourists because he's the man who's met the Queen. And they're all there having a photo. And then at a certain point, he says to them, do you know what? I think it's nice. She's been so happy to lend a hand. I think we should let her in for the photo too. Let her come in. We'll do a selfie, all 4 of us. And he allowed the Queen to come in. And the Queen came in and they had a photo, all the 4 of them. But the amazing line is afterwards, the American tourists so excited to have met someone who met the Queen. They go back home. The Queen said to Sir Richard Griffith, she said, I would love, I'm not going to pretend to say the Queen's voice, I would love to be a fly on the wall when they go back home and they show someone the photo of the lady taking the photo. I can't wait to see their face. That's the true story. And the rabbi learns, we always have to learn parables. Says Rabbi Charles Salant, whenever you hear a story, you have to learn lessons. And there's very deep lessons, I think, to be learned from this story, which is, how many of us have met the King? How many of us have really felt we've met Hashem? We all have, but yet we don't realize we have. We sometimes say, oh, I've met someone who's met Hashem. I mean, let's go a little bit deep for a second. Sorry for those people who aren't part of the Jewish faith and are part of a different faith, which believes that a certain person is their one they're having a relationship with. Or within Judaism, if you feel but I know the rabbi. That's it. That's enough for me. And I've got a relationship with Rabbi Hill. So that's my connection because he's met the king. I've got news for you. That's not Judaism. Judaism is Hashem wants to meet you. Us rabbis are just meant to help guide you to have your own relationship with Hashem. Too many times people don't have their own relationship with Hashem. They even have a relationship with the Siddur. They have a relationship with the synagogue. They have a relationship with the culture. They have a relationship with their parents. They have a relationship with a song. They might have a relationship with something, even a religion, that they don't actually have a relationship with Hashem. You've got to learn to have a relationship with the king and the queen and just be with Hashem. By the way, Johnny, not just as the father, but both as the father and the king. To be honest, Hashem wants both. Hashem wants you to love him as a father, but love him as a king. By the way, it's not a contradiction because we're just prince and princesses. That's why all Jewish women are called Jewish princesses. It's not jokes, it's real. If you're an American Jew, you're called a Jap, a Jewish American princess. In England, they're called Jeps, Jewish English princesses, right? And that's it. Julia, you're going to have to give me a Jewish Swedish princess, right? A JSP, right? We're trying to get, you're going to be a Jewish JSP, right? So it's not a contradiction to be a child of a parent and of the king. We all are that, but maybe it's the same with the parents. Sometimes we don't even have a relationship with parents anymore, which is also sad. I'm going to shout out to Katie, who's got the most amazing, blessed relationship with her parents. The blessing, that unique. A lot of people don't have that, and you're blessed to have that. Some people don't even have good relationships with parents, and we should have good relationships with parents. You shouldn't just know someone that met your parents. We should have our own blessed relationship with parents, but also having our own relationship with ourselves and with Hashem.